Another dark log from the diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me. What's going on, fellow zombies? Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Well, here it is. It's Monday, 1:37 in the morning, West Coast time. One of these things. What I'm trying to do is get some real maneuvering as I'm pushing away bugs of all sorts. Spiders, roaches, that kind of shit. Give me a second. Turn this off for a couple of minutes. What is today's date, by the way? Oh, yeah, see it is. Okay, I just want to make sure if I've got my time stuff right for this one. I sound like a befuddling old fool, and I am a befuddling old fool. Because I'm saying a lot of foolish things that people are talking left and right out of their asses left and right. And I feel like I have to respond to nearly anything and everything that moves. People are frightened, scared, confused at this point. There's reports of a lot of Americans trying to get the hell out of Dodge for those who can afford it and the ones who have the ability to do it. You know, financial records are okay. They don't owe anything to states or federals at this point over here. And they got plenty of money to doing it. And maybe they've got a skill or two that can add to someone else's gross set of products, or the DDPs out there. So they can add to someone else's financials, but they can't add anything more to the United States because we're crashing and burning. We're hemorrhaging. The federal government wants more money out of us. Trump wants more money out of us. He's stealing billions out of our damn pocket, one way or another. He sues himself and wins himself. He settles by himself and still gets money. We got corporate media going. Actually, we got corporate wanting more and more things out of us. More money, more places to have, places to store their crap. Artificial intelligence is the hot thing for corporations because it's a data center. The problem is every time we keep coming into something of this nature where we're honestly, we are spoiling everything of our landscape, our life support, just for our own excessive greed. And what's the necessity with the artificial intelligence? But it's the new race that we have to go for. It's the technological race that we have to keep doing because the other guy's doing it, so why not us? But they're going to get artificial intelligence other than us. We're lacking in intelligence right now as it is. Human intelligence. Human compassion. We're ruining landscapes. We're ruining our interior for greed, for money, for someone else's pocketbook, and everyone else gets screwed over. There's reports of a super El Nino being generated. You guys ever remember what El Nino storms were like? Even for the past 40 or 50 years? Maybe longer than that. How the storms have become infrequent, but in certain decade-old patterns that they've had, that they would generate either a hell of a lot of cold or a hell of a lot of heat and drought conditions left and right. We're not quite sure which this one's going to be doing. Are we going to be drowning or not? Or are we going to be freezing up, or worse, drying up? I'm losing track of what these weather conditions and these patterns are doing because we're so screwed up with our own damn need for more industry to screw things over. I was talking about the interior of the country. When you have certain states out there that actually have buffalo raining on government property, apparently the Department of Interior and Trump himself doesn't want buffalo on government property. Back in the 1800s, when we were expanding out in the West further and further, we were destroying a lot of ecosystems. We were destroying a lot of ways of life for those who have already been here a lot longer than our European colonists had, and the generations that came after it. Now, we damn near wiped out the entire buffalo, the bison, gone. This was important to the Native Americans at the time, to the indigenous, to the nation, because they depended upon the buffalo. They followed when they migrated from plain to plain, from area to area. And to wipe them out is to wipe out a source of food, of clothing, of necessity. And they would only hunt, the Native Americans would only hunt what they needed, not just casual want or wanton destruction. It was pissing me off when I heard about this one for about a week or more, that the Department of Interior is forcing conditions, forcing other people to adapt even worse. And I was talking about the corporate greed, artificial intelligence, a computer that's supposed to think like us. But in order to get machines like this, you would have to screw up the environment that badly. And with no regulations, and I mean it, no regulations, guys. Sorry. No regulations that your own Congress people had originally voted in decades ago, now destroyed by the current administration and by the current Congress that we have right now, who only care about how much money are they going to get? We can't do our stock trading. Oh no, you're going to have to do our stock trading. What am I supposed to do? I can't make any more money out of this pitiful place I'm in right now. I must have my millions. I must have my millions. Stock trading. Well, I know they had to have some kind of necessary skills to work with, but shit. In this insider trading, and depending upon companies for their own bank account, and not just dealing with the United States' needs, they're dealing with their own needs more and more. That's why some people are trying to put bills, both state and federal, trying to curtail their behavior on this one. Ain't working. It takes a while for me to try to absorb a lot of these stories that I'm seeing from the independents, not to mention from the corporate. Now, when I keep seeing the snippets, sometimes I want to go back to the original source that the independents are using just to see what the context is. And sometimes they make me nauseous. Lindsey Graham is being one of those guys targeted left and right, because this asshole's been out there for about 20, nearly 30 years, bouncing off left and right. South Carolina, and he's still mouthing off people left and right. Does he want more? Does he not want more? Does he want more? Does he not want more? You can't make up his fucking mind. But only if his pocketbook is affected. Not the people that voted his ass in there. So now he is on one of those more assholes, kissing ass left and right, that he has to be one of those people champion a lunatic. A guy, a senior citizen, who's lost the ability to think straight. And meanders all the time when he's starting to do his deal. I just want to talk. People have to listen to me because I'm an old man. Yeah, well, I'm an old fart. And I'm not even pushing that down people's throats yet. I'm not to the point where you have to listen to me because I'm meandering and excuse me, I gotta sleep for a while here. Oh, yeah, I gotta sleep right here. Here's the time you have to get up yet. Oh man, I didn't do it again in my pants. Let me see something here about religion. I'm gonna get my Bible out here. It's upside down. Do I read upside down? Okay, I'm gonna do this on the camera. Okay, oh, nice with a thumbs up. Okay. And this person said, and that person said, and this happened, and that happened, and I don't know what thing I'm reading here. I don't know what, I can't even see straight. But the prompt over there has got the big words. It's got big words. Am I reading words? I can't read words. I'm the President of the United States and I can't read words. You voted me in and I gotta do things here. Oh, by the way, 2020, I gotta go after Biden again. I'm gonna sue his ass. Donald Trump gonna sue his ass again because I have to. I gotta get rid of everybody, man. I gotta get rid of everybody. I'm gonna get my newly elected, newly appointed Attorney General body. No, it's the other schmuck. Okay, the other schmuck. Okay. Yeah, well, he's got to go after people for me because I say so. You got to go after my enemies, man. I got a lot of enemies. You got to go after the enemies. I want. Oh, God, help me through this. That wasn't bad enough. Let us go outside in the gathering, boys and girls, and gather in the Lord's name, and then crush our enemies with the verbal taunts and jabber from our pastors who are saying we can't tolerate these people, even though we're Christians. But these people here, this people here, that people there, that people there, that people there, watching me, who do? You are sinners. Excuse me. I'm from Jersey. Say he's a Democrat. He's Democrat. Take out the B and dumb. And it's Democrats. See, I made a good word, didn't I? This is the kind of shit I'm seeing. It's not just on the corporate media that's getting chopped up and used for fodder left and right by the independents, but by the independents themselves. And they're laughing, and they're joking, and they're having a conniption fit, and they're scratching their heads. What the hell's going on? I like to ask the same thing myself. What the hell's going on with you assholes? They want. I'm not complaining about the independents, except I am complaining about everybody, including the independents. Then we all have to find out the flaws of each other and just go crazy on this shit. It's no wonder I'm having a conniption fit. Me. I'm a solo guy. I'm seeing all these people trying to force feed a hell of a lot of crap down my throat and say, you've got to react, you got to react. Or got to overreact? And then what do I do after that? Huh? What after I respond, then what? What's the next thing I have to do? Is keep force feeding this shit down my throat, keep crapping it out of my ass, and giving it to people left or right, and then repeating the cycle all over again? Come on. I'd never seen news stories like this growing up as a kid. Not just deranged. I'm trying not to find blames on this one and point fingers at it. I know these things are changing a lot. These conditions, these things we're going through right now are scaring the crap out of us older folks. I've got older folks saying, well, we got to believe in this guy because. Why? Because he's the wonderful thing he does? Or just, what's that, bullshitting people left and right? What am I supposed to do what they're telling me to do? I got these people jibber-jabbering at both ears. Forcing actions, reactions, and how to respond. I got government systems still trying to adapt and overcome tyrants coming up and then tyrants dropping out. Or a political system that's been operating for nearly 250 years, crashing and burning, and we voted the shit in. Not to mention a maniac who keeps saying that he won the 2020 elections. He's still stuck on stupid. He's still stuck in the past, as reported by everybody else, polite and impolite. And we're hiring more attorneys. We have evidence. We're going to do this in a couple of weeks. We're going to do this in a couple of weeks. We're going to produce the evidence in a couple of weeks that I, Donald J. Trump, won the 2020 elections and I should have been president in that time. I'm like, oh my God. No, 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 no. And it's bad enough. I keep seeing the cycle again and again. That the older folks are coming in and telling me how the hell I'm supposed to be able to think about this shit. I got a cardiac surgeon telling me that his version of his own Wizard of Oz, his own Oz situation is more miraculous. And this asshole, when he got his show of Oz, or Dr. Oz, besides being a cardiologist, he was a scam artist. All this junk shit. It was bad enough when there was one company I recognized a long time ago, back in the 80s and 90s, who had the bad reputation among other people, but kept trying to tell people that they had good products for this and this and this. And then I'm seeing all these people getting scammed out left and right, who bought into the bullshit, who got suckered in with this Ponzi scheme of theirs. I couldn't deal with it. I had to get out of places like that. But I'm seeing a cardiologist. It's supposed to have been a very well-known and talented cardiologist who had a skill for keeping people alive on the damn operating table. No, he wanted to be a bullshit artist. And congratulations, you tossed out being a mediocre surgeon into a bullshit artist and tried to make that into the thing right there. And now you're in charge of Department of I don't know, Health and Human Services. It's worse than dealing with RFK Jr. and his brain rot because of a worm in there. He kept claiming that there was a worm rotting in his brain. And I'm wondering if that was still true to this day because of his own stuff he kept spouting out to the public and to Congress and trying to show what kind of an intelligent guy he is. An attorney who doesn't know medical shit, and yet he's in charge of medicine, along with Dr. Oz of HUD, of House and Urban Development. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing, but he's talking about shit. But he's telling us about things that we should be doing, and I don't believe the son of a bitch. It's one thing if I happen to throw in my own personal stuff about watching and observing the medical establishment trying to save our ass while mutilating us at the same time, and having a lifelong PTSD against these guys of trying to save your ass by causing more human misery one way or another. That personally, I had maintained this all the time. And now dependent upon the medical establishment for my own physical health. As I get older, my body's breaking down more and more. I have wounds healing up less and less because I mistreated my body. And I'll admit to that. I may have got the type 2 gene somewhere about diabetes and screwed up my own damn health. That, yeah, I got fatter and fatter. And the blood sugar went screwed up because I kept indulging myself on sugary stuff. Yeah, processed foods a lot. Starches a lot. Drinks a lot. A lot of coffee with sugar in it. Not taking things in moderation, and not sure as hell drinking water like crazy. Because if I was drinking water like crazy, I wouldn't be in this kind of a situation, would I? Since I live right now in a life of bug war, I have to watch out for bugs all over the damn place. And I have to make sure that the water I drink is clean enough that I'm not going to get any crap into my system. And I'm not kidding about that one either. I'll go back to the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, the corporations out there want machines to think. They're supposed to help us with defense and stuff like that. I keep thinking about what our science fiction writers had said throughout our lifetimes in different medias. If we got to get a thinking machine, we're fucked. we get self-destruction going on left and right. And if we do that, how the hell we're going to be able to live and survive the next century or the next millennium? Are we going to be crushed to death by our own machines, by our own devices, or are we going to be scrambling for resources that are getting dwindled and destroyed by our own greed? Waste product concerning about artificial intelligence, destroying environments left and right. No wonder communities are saying no to it. How about this little caveat here? I'm coming across certain things coming from the independents telling me about the alligator Alcatraz in Florida getting dismantled. Took them long enough. And politicians want the cruelty of humanity to teach these foreigners a lesson or two. Foreigners? How about some of them are American citizens? Or is this a racial situation, that they're not white, they're not Christian? Oh, there's avenues I can go back on this one here. Suffice it to say, we had our white racist rally and reality show trying to prove to God that our country, the United States of America, is godly. We only have one God to worship, one faith only. Yeah. And I know I'm spouting off on that one. I'm still spouting off on it. Only because it's the massive racist show that we've ever produced for the world. And to satisfy our own damn insanity. That we think a white-skinned and Christian nation shall be the place. And if God were here, he'd be appreciative of us. You kidding me? We're set up to be lambs for the slaughter at this point. Let's pull out Donald Trump's face and have him go, well, the Bible says this and the Bible says that and blah, 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 blah. And this happened and that happened and blah, 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 blah. I know, I'm going in a circle on this one, aren't I? It's still driving me crazy at this point. It's driving me crazy that I'm seeing more and more insanity going on over here, and we're not putting these people away in insane asylums, padded cells, and straitjackets. There should have been a market for this thing. There should have been an industry for this. Because they remind me so much of people wanting too much out of the world that they're willing to destroy the damn thing and blame the other guy for it. Speaking of which, how about nuclear weapons? Oh, let's do that one, shall we? A regime comes up 47 years ago or 48 years ago, takes over Iran, and Iran was probably corrupt enough anyway with their own government system. Whatever kind of things we've been learning about the system was already probably screwed up anyway with Shah of Iran and his folks over there. They get chased out. We get radicals coming in there, capturing Americans and proving that they were the toughest bastards around. We tried to send in military folks, and we get fucked up because of the environment. And then we get an actor over here doing tough talk that he's going to send shits. And the regime at that time, the radicals, whatever the hell they call themselves, would say, oh no, an American actor is threatening us. We got to release the hostages. He was known for his bluster. Even in the state of California, he was known for his bluster. But we didn't realize he was on the point of dementia. And there was rumors that his wife was running the country. He would be the prop, but she would be the powerhouse. Makes me wonder, in our current regime that we have for 2026. But even then, the actor and the wife got away with it. And we had the hostages released. Harmed, but released. And then 47 years later, yeah, they're sponsoring this and they're sponsoring that, but if they really, 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 truly wanted to get nuclear weapons, Why didn't they develop the damn program themselves? Why did it take them 47 fucking years? Give me a break. 47 years, guys. Give me a fucking break. You're going to be ruling the world with the nuclear weapons, or did you want not to have the nuclear weapons? Because apparently, if you wanted it, you could have developed the damn shit. But you didn't. You just slowly built the shit up. Slowly take your fucking time. And getting your creepy handle hands in a different places. But if you really wanted a nuclear weapon, you could have traded the damn thing for something. No, you didn't. But the old farts we have are saying, well, they're going to attack us. They're going to attack us. They're going to attack us. So we got to attack them first. And then all hell breaks loose after this. About 2 years worth of it, since we get Trump in office. He wanted to go after Iran, I think, in the first term, but he didn't. But now, he had the power. And now, we got the world destabilized. Oil prices going up. People wanted to get the hell out of the country one way or another. FIFA. World Cup coming in. We got the Olympics coming in. And what do? We built up ICE. We built up our own terrorist organizations here within our country. We terrorize our own people to death, literally. And then, if the visitor comes over here, are you allowed? Can I suck out your wallet and then imprison you and throw you out? That's how it is. And if the world's watching this, you know this is true. We have lost our fucking minds. We've been losing it for a hell of a long while. It just took us 250 years to be fucked up. But we wanted 13 colonies originally to be away from a tyrant who couldn't give us representation because we're getting taxed too much. We didn't have the say, we didn't have the power because we weren't on native England soil. And tell these assholes in the parliament and in the king, stop taxing the crap out of us. We can't pay your ass and we're not following this religion shit. We got our own lives to live. That's why we did 13 colonies. And we gave the bird in a literal form called the Declaration of Independence and telling King George III at that time, fuck off. Leave us alone. We can be a trading partner, but you don't want a trading partner. You just want slaves. So, here's the finger. Fuck you. Even King Charles, in a way, understood this. Tried to be as diplomatic as possible. He knew that our Congress is screwed up. Especially the Republican Party. The Trumplican Party. And our current choice of an asshole for a president. Biden would have been better. Kamala Harris would have been better. Even Hillary Clinton would have been better. Since we had limitations in the Constitution and the amendment process, happened within the mid-20th century, early to mid-20th century, that we put in the amendment in there to limit presidential term. We had to make sure that we didn't have a three-term president. We make sure there was a two-term president. If we had a three-term, either Trump would still be in office, or we could have had other presidents in office doing 3 terms. And how screwed up would we be back then? Because the Republican Party, still called the Republican Party at that time, would still be getting us into a war situation. Now, I can't figure out how we ever got into wars if a Democrat was in office. And this is some of the stuff being produced left and right. And maybe they're right about that. Republicans want whatever the hell they wanted in the first place. I can't figure them out for the life of me. They wanted world economic stability. They want money coming into their pocket, but they wanted people to work more and earn less because they want more money in the pocket. They wanted war because war is good for business, for the war economy. It's the military-industrial complex that wants more and more, and they've got it. Or just about anyway. So yeah, going to college as an adult and having experiences that I've seen and learned about throughout my lifetime has turned me into a living hermit right now. Oh, I could spout out a little bit here and here because I'm seeing convoluted, complex, avalanching material burying us alive one way or another. All these fast-paced situations over here. A lunatic we voted into office who's a senior citizen with senility who wants to own the world. At least his portion of it anyway. He wants dominance. He wants loyalty. He wants somebody to pay attention to him. And if we're not paying attention to him, if we're not giving this guy any attention, including mentioning his name millions of times, what are we dealing with, guys? What are we dealing with here? I don't get it. I know I got a few people outside the state borders. Do you guys get this? I don't. You guys want to comment the damn thing. Now, last thing here is, and this was coming up, this had to have been coming up because since the corporations are getting more and more in control and limiting freedom of speech left and right, they put up and installed algorithms even worse off than I've ever seen, because I'm hearing more and more crying from everybody else that they're not getting seen by everybody, and they're having conniption fits because the more they get seen, the more they get talked about, the more exposure they're getting, and they want their stuff out there. Okay, I get it. I understand that. On a platform, this is what you do. You want to out megaphone the other guy. This is me trying to talk about my own life on observations at this point, me getting political at this point. Yeah, I do have a burr up my ass on that one. But it's not like I'm reaching out to the camera right now, grabbing you by the throat and say, you're going to listen to me because I say so. You're watching the damn shit because either you're curious or you're brain dead. But I think you're curious and not just brain dead. I ain't apologizing and I ain't taking back some of the stuff anyway. Because I'm already seeing mental deficiencies left and right all over the damn place. I'm an observer. I observe this stuff. But it's not like I'm an activist where I have to force you guys into stuff. You guys have to force yourself into stuff. You have to search and research what's real, what's not real. And then you make the determination. You, the viewer, have to make determinations for yourself. Whether or not we're going downhill in the United States of America.